Hello, everybody. Today I'm finally here with the Disney Heroes Battle Mode Update 3.1.10. It's been so long, but we finally got another update, and thank goodness they gave us 2 characters for this one. I would have been pretty upset, honestly, if they didn't. And today we're getting the Sheriff of Nottingham from Robin Hood, as well as Quackerjack from Darkwing Duck. A surprise character, which is a pretty fun surprise character, I'd say, as well. I feel like it would be pretty boring to just have it have been data mined, but to actually have as a surprise is pretty fun. And then there's also a hero refresh I'm not going to talk about, and just various bug fixes and improvements. So let's look at the Sheriff of Nottingham. And I think when I heard that he was coming, this is pretty much exactly how I imagined he was going to look. I want to just look something up real quick. Okay. So, we have the Sheriff of Nottingham here, and I think he looks very faithful to his original style. I'm wondering just how fat they made him, and how much weight he's going to have to his animations. I'm sure that'll be fun to see. I really don't have anything to say about him. I feel like we should have probably gotten him quite a while ago, but we're finally getting him now. I think it's also cool that we're actually getting like 2 villain characters today. That doesn't happen all that often, so it's pretty fun to see. And yeah, it just feels like he's been a long time coming. Robin Hood's been the only character from the series for a very long time, so it makes sense to finally get another one. And who knows, maybe we could be seeing some more from the franchise very soon. You know, they do that sometimes, where they add one from a new series, or they add one character to a series, and then they continue to add them. So we may see a few more of them show up pretty soon. Who knows? But anyways, he's going to be a tank character, and he will be an event exclusive to the City Watch crates. I don't know if it's going to be on Tuesday when those City Watch crates are released. But if they aren't, then I guess we'll be showcasing Quackerjack first. If they are released along with the update, then I'll probably do the Sheriff first. Just depending on what they decide to do with those City Watch crates. Anyways, let's go through his skills. The first one is Doing My Duty. The Sheriff of Nottingham increases his attack speed and also performs a different effect depending on the weapon he is wielding. So the different weapons are the bow, where he steals up to a certain amount of basic damage from the enemy with the most basic damage and gives it to himself for a time. And then the torch, where he increases his armor and reality for a time, and then the effect is locked until he unlocks the torch strike, which is the next skill. So after a certain amount of time, after the wave starts, he pulls out a torch and his basic attacks switch to melee. He increases his armor for the rest of the wave and stabs enemies every few basic attacks for... What? Every few basic attacks for? I feel like that must be a typo. He also unlocks a new effect on Doing My Duty. The Sharpshooter. At the beginning of each wave, the Sheriff of Nottingham shoots a well-aimed arrow at the closest enemy, dealing damage, knocking them back, reducing their attack and movement speeds, and sapping them. So that's a pretty good way to start a round. All set up where all the sapped enemies deal less damage to the Sheriff. And finally, collecting taxes. Every few basic attacks, the Sheriff of Nottingham gains armor up to a max. Each enemy is cursed once per wave when they reach a % of their max HP. Reviving does not clear this curse. Friendships are with Ham and Scrooge McDuck. I wonder if maybe Ham will switch to his alter ego. I'm blanking on the name right now, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Evil Dr. Porkchop, right? Just because he's a villain, I'm not really sure where they're going to go with that. And then I think, I've never seen Robin Hood, I'm just going to say that. But I believe Sheriff of Nottingham has something to do with keeping the money safe. So maybe that'll be something that's something that him and Scrooge McDuck will have in common. Anyways, for the main event, let's move on to Quackerjack, who I'm really excited for. I neglected to mention in my videos in the past where I was predicting characters to come to the game, I had both the Sheriff of Nottingham and Quackerjack on there. And these are both 2 characters from a series that only had one character beforehand and now is getting another. And I could definitely see Darkwing Duck starting to get a bunch of new villain characters, or not even villains necessary, but just new characters, which I think would be really cool to see. And I don't know if Quackerjack's the most popular. I just got lucky, but that's the first one I predicted for a character to come to Darkwing Duck. So I'm happy that I got that one correct. And I'm guessing the Sheriff was probably my first one for Robin Hood as well. And I think his design is great. I'm sure his animations will be nice and wacky. I really like the look of him. I think he turned out really well in the style of the game. And like I said, this is a great one to have as a surprise. Some of the other ones I think were great as a surprise as well, were like Jumba and Pleakley. Some that aren't that great, like Maximus, I didn't think that was that great of a surprise. Mr. Big and Kozlov, I don't know if it was that great of a surprise, but it was like a big surprise because I was not predicting them whatsoever. But Quackerjack, I think, is a really good one. And he's going to be a control character and will only be available in diamond crates. So let's go through his skills. He's got a lot based on like toys and just being generically strange. So first one is Terror Teddy. Passive, instead of basic attack, Quackerjack cackles maniacally, gaining energy. At the start of each wave, Quackerjack summons a robot teddy bear with a certain amount of HP that attacks enemies, dealing damage with each hit. And when it's active, if the teddy bear is not KO'd, Quackerjack causes it to explode, dealing damage to enemies around it. If the teddy bear is KO'd, Quackerjack resummons the teddy bear. So it's kind of like a summon for him, kind of like a character like Jolly or Kristoff, I would assume. And then History Lesson. Quackerjack pulls out Mr. History, scaring enemies and applying stacks of fatigue. I'd assume Mr. History is some sort of dummy or ventriloquist dummy. The Banana Boom. Quackerjack throws a Mr. Banana Brain at the enemy with the most stacks of fatigue, and it explodes, dealing damage to enemies in an area, and additional damage per stack of fatigue each damaged enemy has. The Bear Blow Up. The robot teddy bear applies stacks of fatigue to nearby enemies every few seconds, and stacks of fatigue to nearby enemies when he is summoned with the Terror Teddy. And finally, the Twisted Toy Maker. When Quackerjack uses Terror Teddy and summons the robot teddy bear, scared enemies are also distracted. Distracted enemies prefer to target the robot teddy bear, and the robot teddy bear deals damage per second to nearby enemies. Quite a lot going on with that Terror Teddy move, I must say. His friendships are with Slinky Dog. I would assume just being a toy and in general is probably going to be where they're going to go with that one. And then Lock, Shock, and Barrel, who are kind of mischievous and evil as well, and also have a lot of toys they throw out, I guess. So a lot in common with them, actually. If you want to see the Shank refresh, you can check the patch notes. Let's just go to Hero Locations and Content Adjustments, where Sheriff of Nottingham will be available in City Watch, as we mentioned. Quackerjack in the Diamond Crates. Hopefully I can get him day one. And then, I don't have it on screen, but Carl and Jumba are now in the Elite Campaign. Saying that Jumba's going to Elite Campaign, I think it's about time that we get another one of those characters, what is it? What am I thinking of? The Arena and Coliseum crates? Like the Challenger seasons? I believe it's been much overdue to get a new one. So I was kind of hoping that one of them today would have replaced, I'm blanking on the name, the guy from Treasure Planet. I would hope that he's going to get replaced soon. Anyways, I guess we also need a new City Watch, so that's fine. It's a full app update coming Tuesday, June 22nd. Should get some more data mines on Tuesday then. Can't wait to see who's coming out after these two here. But yeah, I've said mostly everything I want to say. This video is pretty long as it is. Sheriff of Nottingham is a nice addition, but we already knew about it. Where Quackerjack is also a nice addition, but I think he's a much more cool and interesting one. So that's the one I'm really excited for. And let me know what you think of these characters as well. I'll be unlocking them both as soon as I can. It's been a very long time since I've been able to even do that. The last character we got was, Esmeralda? the sign-in character. So yeah, we're pretty overdue. So I'm really excited to finally be unlocking some new characters, and hopefully it won't be much of a wait for the next update after this one. Also, I guess it's really nice to finally get another update with 2 characters. It's been, I think January was the last time that happened. And I know we kind of deserve it because we had 3 weeks without patch notes, but it's just, I always enjoy the ones with 2 more. So it's nice to see that again. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you when I unlock those characters. Goodbye.